Joshua Holt with the Holt Real Estate Team and Keller Williams Realty. Now, I've been getting questions from a number of folks asking if you really could sell or buy a home right now during the whole COVID-19 situation. And today, we're going to talk about that a little bit more. First, if you're someone that is considering selling your current home, the first question that I would probably ask is, what is your reason for needing to sell right now? Do you have something pressing that makes you have a move be necessary right now? Perhaps you're already secured your next home that you're moving to, relocating for a job situation, or some other factor in your life that is making a move necessary right now. And if that's the case, then I certainly would advise that you continue on with your plans to make that move now, as opposed to maybe putting that off or delaying it for later in the year. If you're not sure, or if you're not really sure what your reasoning is for trying to sell, then perhaps we should talk about why now would be a good time to sell, or maybe if it is more advantageous to wait till we kind of see how things continue to play out here with the coronavirus. If you're thinking about selling, what I would say is there's a couple things to factor in or consider. One would certainly be your price point. With the activity that we're seeing in the market, if your home is a nice home at or around the median price point that we're seeing, is staged well, and is professionally marketed, then you really should see no issues getting that home sold still relatively quickly. We are still seeing a good amount of activity out there in the market. The other thing to factor in is if it's vacant or occupied. Certainly vacant homes are going to be a little bit easier for buyers to see. They're going to be more comfortable going to viewing those homes. It's going to make it a little bit easier maybe for some of the marketing. But that doesn't mean that if you have an occupied home, there are not ways that we can't navigate that to be able to ensure that your home still gets the exposure it needs to be able to sell in the current market. We've always been a big proponent of professional photography and videography on our listings. And I think now more than ever, that's proven to be super important. Online is where buyers are looking at homes, and now they're at home on their couch and they're looking through virtual tours, they're looking for videos, they're trying to get as much information about the home, and then if they are truly interested in that home, are they taking that next step to schedule a showing or try to connect with maybe an agent or buyer's agent to take a look at that home? Because in-person open houses, they're not happening. Some agents, we're trying to do virtual open houses. It's something a little bit different, be able to, like I said, continue to get that exposure. But once again, the way that buyers are seeing homes has changed, and we've needed to adapt to a more virtual space. And so that's why that professional marketing is so important to the successful sale of your home. So let's flip the script to say, let's say you're thinking about buying a home, and maybe you're a little bit nervous about, I had made a plan going in this year that this was the year I was going to buy a home, and you set off like a lot of buyers. And frankly, how the year started off in the first quarter, really January up until mid-March, the activity was brisk. We were looking like we were going to be on pace for a record year in real estate. And then, of course, the first safer at home order came into place, and we saw, a pretty sharp decline in activity out there in the market. Showings went way down, and now we are starting to see that tick up a little bit more as we're kind of getting towards the end of April into early May now. But that doesn't mean that you can't buy a home now. What I would say is you really just need to make sure that you're being extra diligent on the process. It's not just as easy as just going and getting that pre-approval from a mortgage lender and then going out and shopping. It's keeping communication with that lender, checking in with them, making sure that you're working with somebody that's communicating and following up with you really on a weekly, or if you're really actively shopping, couple times a week, just to make sure that things haven't changed in terms of maybe the loan program that you were hoping to use, or the price points that you were thinking you could shop in based on the monthly payment that you're trying to stay in with your budget. Other things like your income, got to make sure that your income is stable. If something has changed in your job situation, then that certainly can change things in terms of how you can finance a home with a mortgage. So it's just being extra diligent on that communication, both with your mortgage lender and with your realtor, just to make sure that you're moving forward in the right way. And then, like I said, just being comfortable with some of the new things happening in the market, focusing more on the virtual tours, taking drive-bys through neighborhoods so that you're really getting a good feel of the neighborhood before maybe scheduling that showing. And now I know that in some cases the competition is still pretty fierce, especially in some of the price points we have in Dane County. So, time may be of the essence to kind of move forward, and, we can be quick and adapt as need be, but certainly just doing a little extra research on the property, asking a few more questions up front, and then knowing that when you do go and do that in-person showing, you may need to make a quicker decision one way or another on if that home's something that would be a good fit for you and your situation, or if you're moving on and going to continue to do more shopping. The last thing that I'd want to just kind of mention on or touch on is that, as both a buyer and a seller, you may start seeing things in your offers. A coronavirus addendum is something that has been drafted by our state realtor association. So you may be seeing that either as a seller being presented to you as part of the offer package, or as a buyer being included in the paperwork that you're signing to present for the offer that you're making. And simply it's there just to protect all parties involved in case there are some unexpected delays in the process because of either businesses changing, shut down, so forth, that are necessary to real estate, be it inspectors, title companies, you name it, those types of things that could impact or delay the closing process, just to make sure that everybody is protected and able to move forward. So I guess, what I would say is, if you have further questions on is now a good time to be able to sell your home or buy a home in the current environment we have out there, please reach out to me. You can always give me a call at 608-345-6594 or email me at jdholt@kw.com. I'm always happy to just have a conversation with you, no obligation, to talk about maybe what your home could sell for in the current market or what buying a home would look like. Once again, I'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch our video today, and I hope that you are staying safe and healthy, and be well. Thank you.